Hi, my name is Ralph Skunky Davis. You can find me on Instagram at Ralph Skunky Davis and also on my website at ralphskunkydavis.com. I'm going to be talking about my series Future Fossils, which I'm showing with the ACCA. This series is one that I started while I was an artist in residence at Piloten International Art Program, which is in Leipzig, Germany. I've continued this series in Chicago now that I'm based there, and Chicago is a city that I really love and love making art in. Um, this series explores the earth and the body as a database amid impending apocalypse. This series is concerned with memorializing small moments and things that we wish we could include in our own fossil records and giving context to our own physical bodies through ephemera and disposable objects. I am trying to imitate the entropy and chaos of the earth as it creates fossils. So pressurizing and washing and all these processes that take carbon-filled things into stone. So when I'm making these, I'm using freeform plaster sculpting techniques that I started working on when I was a undergraduate at RISD, where I studied sculpture. And from there, I've sort of wanted to explore that chaos sculpting from there. So I'm using freeform plaster sculpting as well as resin casting in most of these sculptures using a polyurethane based plastic product, which my hypothesis about future fossils in their materiality will be that microplastics will congeal in the heating earth and turn into macroplastics, and that will fill the cavities of all these things that are left behind by disposable objects. So this series is also a hypothesis about how things will be remembered in the future and how our impact on the environment will impact how things are preserved. Um, that's sort of the material process. I'm trying to create false historical documents in an attempt to world build and create context for my existence right now. I sometimes get worried about how I will be remembered after I'm gone and I can't give myself context. I can't wear clothes or express myself in the ways that I want to be remembered, especially as a trans and queer person. Trans and queer bodies are often misremembered by archive, and I often get scared that my bones will misgender me. So while I'm alive, I'm trying to build up this context around myself, sort of entombing myself in these important moments in my life and hopefully other people's lives, as this is an ongoing series, so that I can give myself that context and remember myself in service of my own memorialization and memorialization of this specific moment in the queer art canon. So I'm going to start by talking about the first fossil that I made, which is this one up here. There are more pictures of that up close on my website. Yes, you can find a future fossil page there. So this one is called hormones post-injection. So it shows a syringe in a hormone vial after they have been used for a hormone injection. So I was thinking about disposability culture in this sculpture and how I think that small moments like a fish eating a piece of algae on the bottom of a river or me doing my weekly hormone shot will actually be the most significant events in historical record. Um, so I wanted to give those small moments a larger stage and context. So that was my thinking behind that sculpture. And the most recent one that I've made is this one here, which is a CDJ, a DJ deck, an audio interface tool. And this one I was thinking about how tools leave marks on us as much as we leave marks on tools. So the hammer that is used to hammer steel leaves marks on us in the form of blisters and bruises and stains rubbing off on our hands. And we're also impacting that tool um, by staining it and by leaving wear marks and use marks. And I was thinking more about use objects in this sculpture. So I was thinking about how in the future we will be able to see marks of use on tools through plastic because it doesn't degrade. We can see that this button was used more than this button based on how it pushes, or in this imagination within the logic of this sculpture, the bruising underneath the sample pad. So we can see that a DJ deck has been used based on its hurt or based on its fleshiness and based on its susceptibility to change through us using it and through using what it's been made to do. So this one is my most recent one, and I am excited about working bigger with this series. I would love to be given the space to explore this concept on a larger scale, like an installation size scale. I want to make a completely immersive experience out of this concept and these beginnings of a visual language. So thank you so much for spending time with this series, and I welcome any and all questions, and I hope to see you online. Thank you.